the after effects of Rome. We're tired.
We're stuffed. We're headed.
Got our
Dirty
feet up.
See.
No souvenirs.
Damn it. Wrong part of Rome.
No souvenirs.
No.
But we're sitting, this is the Tomb of Augustus. Yeah. Going to the Vatican.
Go down to pray.
Hey, Kentucky bus, look. Hey, there we are.
Oh, wow, I'm gonna tell you, Mom.
And they have all these little mopeds that go all around like maniacs.
Quite annoying because they make so much noise, so you know.
Yeah.
But anyhow. How's it over here?
Oh, it's still recording, right? Yeah. Hey, Tracy. Say hello to your darling Bill. Say hi.
Hello, darling Bill. How are you?
In Italian, in Italian.
Buongiorno, Bill.
Okay, so who else can we see along here? Anyone from Kentucky? No, not at the moment. Okay. Cool. So, I'm off air now. See you later, guys.
You go videotape the back of the engine.
Get off the plane.
Hey, say hi. Hi. You having a good time?
I love this! I love this!
This is our Italian bus, broken engine.
Videos do you have?
Broken down the bus.
Every special moment.
Documented. Alright, who are you?
Clapper! Clap! The bus is clap!
He's Italian engineering. Malcolm, give it a go, man. Paul, turn the microphone. Is it working? Who's behind us, man? At least
Okay, this is our room in Rome. Spent 2 nights. This is the front room. It's actually one of the nicer ones and bigger ones. Got a refrigerator in there, TV, big windows. And you come in here, master bedroom. A little grungy, but this is our view in Italy. This is our bathroom.
Shut up.
And we got this, I don't know, thing. We haven't figured it out yet.
It's a bidet. It is a bidet.
It is the
I don't know
bidet.
how to get to work.
We don't know how to work it.
Let me. That's how bidet works.
That's
I
weird.
thought it spit up though.
You wash your feet in there. There's such a commode. Yeah, the shower has that hand thing only. It's quite weird. But this is our room hotel.
He saw the wealth, the creation of the architecture, the people that it had, and thought, what can I do to make myself excel above everybody else in the city? And so Cosimo Medici already had a bit of money behind him. He then started to lend people money the first sort of real system that we have of lenders in the banking world. People had always been able to deposit money, but you could never really take a loan. So he was in there about 14 interest on top of that loan. So he got very wealthy by giving his money to other people, and then the interest earned from those other people, he then give out to other people, and more interest on it, and so on and so on. And he started for himself this whole new empire in Florence of the Medici family. In fact, he was succeeded by his son, Lorenzo. Lorenzo Medici. We just got to pay a tax to go into...
This is Florence.
Okay, we gotta get one of those t-shirts over there.
What does it say?
It's a color. Got my bag up there.
This is lovely.
Let's go send a snap picture of us both here. There's no cool breeze like there was.
It's a replica of David.
Maybe we'll get a shade. Oh, cut you.
Pretty high.
Yeah. How long you keep your hair there?
Alright, let's go. That's it. Yeah, it depends on how hard. Wait. You know what I mean? It's too high.
Smoke comes over here. Nice breeze right here. Yeah, it's just toasty, man. Get us with the whole hand thing?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Typical guy stuff.
You know what?
This is in Florence, in a piazza.
To his head, up to his body here?
I don't know.
Oh, there's David, the fake one. There.
Yeah. Neptune, god of water.
David.
Another replica of David.
Here's Ronnie. Here they are.
David has so out of proportion because they were made. He was made to put out. But they liked them so much that they had
and the river Danube. Over there, Graz. Graz is in Austria today. Over there, quite faded back, it's Prague. Prague, very different country. So 1565 she came here and all the ancient was painted. So in each city, in let's say in Italy, but also in France and in Europe, there can be many churches, but only one is the cathedral. Yeah, this is the cathedral. It's the one which was entitled to rule the bishop's cathedral chair. So cathedral. That's the meaning. Now you are looking at what used to be the largest church in the world. It was started 1296, and it took about 200 years until it was only kind of finished. It was never really completely finished. Santa Maria del Fiore, it means Holy Mary of the Flower. Because it took about 200 years, there are also many different styles. Imagine that, who started it, never saw it finished. So, and also, first they built the church with stones, and then they covered it with thin layers of marble. So, the white marble you're seeing comes from Carrara. Carrara is 2 hours driving distance from here. The green marble, Prato, 20 minutes from here. And the red marble, Siena, 1 hour by car. Don't think that it was cheap to use marble. It's a sign of prestige, of wealth. It cost a fortune to use all this marble. Now imagine you're going to 3 different...
This is the front
Come over here.
of the church.
Oh, so close.
I know, sir.
Right there.
Absolutely beautiful. All marble. Absolutely gorgeous. Sculptures in the wall. Paintings.
This is hard to do. I can't get all the top in. Just bring it apart. It's hard to get through like 3 shots. I got the whole top. Sometimes I watch on PBS and talk about this architecture
Building.
show.
Oldest building in
It's all
the
about
city.
ancient architecture. I remember hearing about this.
Lederhosen, normally in the black, but then with a bright red jacket, funny little black hat with perhaps a feather sticking out the top of that, and a few frilly bits on it here and there. So folklore is widely practiced as well by the Swiss people. As far as the intricacy goes, you would see that in the form of the engineering aspects. A small country, so they specialise in the manufacture of small things. Particularly, well, watches is obviously a huge industry that's come out of Switzerland. It's dominated here since World War I, the watch industry, right up until the Japanese market gave it a scare in the 80s when they produced their little LED liquid quartz watches, and so it was with that the Swiss thought, well, we better move away from these expensive Rolex, Tag Heuers, Longines, Raymond Viel's, Tissot's, Satina, all the rest that they have, and offer something else that's going to be competitive and a collector's item in the marketplace. So that's when we saw the Swatch watch come into play, which was during the course of the 80s. Still very popular through Switzerland. In fact, in Lucerne you find your way out. Any money that was left in Germany, Adolf Hitler was just basically going in, the Nazi party was just going into their shops. A machine that was building up down there in Germany. Mound there, airfield in front of it, and of course this particular one here would be to protect the area of St. Gotthard. It's a large mountain range that we're going to pass underneath up ahead of us. At the service stop, you'll be pleased to know in Switzerland the toilets have got toilet seats. Yes. And they don't charge you to use them. Well, so we'll have oh, and you can drink the water too. In the bathrooms, anywhere like that, wash your hands in it, yeah, and then, well, don't drink it before you wash your hands in it, but generally it's pretty good, the water out of the taps, there's no problem there. If you have got some Swiss francs already, there is a sort of a supermarket kind of a snack bar thing here at the stop. If you've got one out there, yours up under the snow line.
Right,
for row seat now.
Very dark seat in a minute. Probably need to change it.
Sam.
Weeks ago, still sandbag family, you were supposed to bow or salute this coat of arms as you're going through to state the Austrians' dominance here in Switzerland. And in actual fact, William Tell's son defied this one day, went through and was skylarking and sort of showed his ignorance towards the Austrians by looking straight at it. Each one of his cattle by the tune of that bell that it rings on those cows. And they start right from the very early age, right from when they're calves. They start with these collars on these big cows and just keep expanding them. In fact, even down to the extent they have them.
Wheels for the alignment, eh? It's nice.
That's not gonna be a good picture, but
Isn't it the cattle and cows? What?
cow?
Who is that?
I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
That's a
It
place.
just took me a lot of courage just to do this.
Slow it down.
With every time you seem to get a loop like, you slow down.
So he's prepared to run for you guys, for the 23 that we've got out there at this stage. So what we'll do is have dinner and everything, shower and change afterwards, and then at 5 to 10 we'll walk. It's just across the road. Our hotel's just across the road from the lake, so he'll pick us up on the boat ramp just opposite the hotel. So 5 to 10 we'll meet in reception and walk down to the boat, and then that'll run. He'll run about 45 bags, etc., to the coach, and then departing. But please do just check the note.
In the back. This is our room in Lucerne, Switzerland. Quite spacious. Forgot to do. Oh, look, the TV's up on a thing like ours.
That's cute.
And quite a large bathroom in this one, actually. Good shower. No bidet in this one. Guess that's only the Italian. This is Paris. There's Eiffel Tower.
Come to 1200, take them down there with your passport, and they will then give you the required forms so you can get your tax back when you fly out of
Paris.
Yeah, Louise. American Express just up here on the left hand side, and this would bring you up to the front of the opera, and this is probably the first opportunity you'll get to see some of the inspiration that was brought about to the city by, well, ironically, Napoleon III. That's Napoleon Bonaparte's nephew, Louis Napoleon, who employed an architect, Baron von Haussmann, to give the city a bit of a spruce up, a bit of a scrub up. And you can see there Charles Garnier, 1898. And what Baron von Haussmann did was actually ran a competition for the design of a new opera house here in Paris. And that's it on the left-hand side of us now. I see the Scaffoldi brothers have put in their touch of class to the front of the opera house as well, just to jazz it up a little for us.
Scaffoldi brothers.
It's, behind there you would see that it depicts all the busts of many famous music composers, artists, etc. But it's also the opera house that is the scene of the fountain of the opera. down under there they have a spring, a water spring underneath. It actually helps to power the stage. It's all water controlled up and down to the left. Just braking on that. Thomas Cook's over there on the left hand side as well. We're back tomorrow, so just across from American Express. This whole square that you're in here is known as the Garnier Opera. Okay, it's the square of the opera, and it's not to be confused now with the new modern day opera house. There's Place Vendôme just down there to the left hand side. You see through that big bronze column, anyone down there? That column there is actually constructed of over 300 cannons that Napoleon Bonaparte brought back from various battles that he won in, and had them all melted. I know, back at the column, made her way down to the right bank of the river. So that's back there in that same square of the column. As we come through this particular area here, the Hotel de Louvre, this is basically the entrance to the old quarter of the Bourbon monarchy, or of the Louis. The Louvre being the original winter palace of the Louis. Very large palace it was in the time, and now has been converted into museums. And it's in here, of course, you would find such things as the Mona Lisa. You'd find again more artworks, the Dying Slave, sculpture by Michelangelo for the tomb of Julius II. And that'll bring us right into the forecourt of the Louvre Palace. Now there's a very controversial glass pyramid over there to the left hand side, and that's by the American designer Impey, and that was actually commissioned by Francois Mitterrand back in 1990, and the Parisians thought that that was totally out of characteristic with what's here in the Louvre. But nevertheless, it's proved to be a great success because it lets a lot of light down. And down below us is this massive shopping complex all the way underneath the Louvre as well. There's another one here on this grass verge. It's actually inverted. And that's also serves as the entrance now for the Louvre. One of about 4 entrances, in fact, to the Louvre. As you take another look around here, you'll see this little arch over to the right-hand side. Once again, a similarity from Constantine's Arch down in Rome.
I mean Rome, yeah.
Again, Napoleon Bonaparte. See on top of it, the quadrangular 4 horses there. They replicate the 4 horses that you would have seen on St. Mark's Basilica down in Venice. Except in this case, they put a chariot of victory on top of those, behind the horses, with the 2 victorious angels either side. And those are to symbolise the horses that Napoleon had enabled the city to be first formed because of its accessibility to trading through the River Seine. And right smack in the centre of this river is in fact not the other side but an island. And there's 2 of these islands. One of them is the Ile de la Cité and the other one is the Ile Saint-Louis. Now the Ile de la Cité, which is the one you're looking directly at the moment over on the right hand side, is the one in actual fact that was the home of the Notre Dame. Oh no, you're not. So one of the Ile de la Cité, which is just straight ahead of me and to the right hand side, is the home of the Notre Dame Cathedral, the Church of Our Lady. And the other one is the Ile Saint-Louis, which is regarded basically as the island of cows. It was the farming island for a period of time there. And it's there that the original tribe of people that lived in the city settled. And they were the Parisi tribe. And it said that they actually ran their business and lived on the Ile de la Cité. And the other one, Ile Saint-Louis, was the farming area for them. And it's for this reason we probably get the name of Paris, from that Parisi tribe. Now as you look across again to the right hand side, you'll see this bridge here. This bridge is Pont Neuf. Neuf in French would normally mean new, although this is the oldest stone bridge that crosses from one side of the River Seine to the other. And it crosses intersecting the tip of the island, of the Ile de la Cité. And then at the centre focal point there you have a large equestrian statue, big bronze statue there. That's the statue of Henry of Navarre. And he's that Huguenot that married into royalty in the form of the Medici families that we mentioned, and he's also the guy that was known as the gay old spark. 56 mistresses he's said to have rode, and he used to take them in suit, divorce, etc. You'd end up in there. But that was also at the time of Reign of Terror, was where they were trying the loyalty and then finding them guilty. And then they go into this beautiful building next door here, the concierge. This is one of the older, more medieval buildings remaining in Paris. And the concierge, during the reign of the terror, actually served as a prison. Okay, and it was there actually that Marie Antoinette spent 2 years in solitary in a cell in that prison. They had about 2,000 occupants in that prison during the time of the reign of terror and the concierge, before they would then be taken up to the Place de la Concorde, where they would quite delicately have their heads removed with the guillotine. So as we work our way down now, still running along the Ile de la City, you can see your first sort of glimpse of the spire of the Notre Dame Cathedral. Coming around the back of it, we come to the next of the two. Oh, let's just quickly hold up there. On the left-hand side, take a look to the left, and this is the Hotel de Ville. And it's not a place you would go to stay for residents, it's in actual fact the town hall. And that's the main town square in front of that. Again, a spectacular buildings. You can see there's 1748 to 1825 was the time that was completed. And it still serves and operates as the main town hall of the city today as we go through that. And then now you can start to see this young lady, a lady by the name of Saint Genevieve, and this is her up here on the left-hand side. And we're looking at the back side of her now. If you get another chance as we go around the corner, you might have noticed there's something just in front of her at waist height, and that's a young child. And it said that she rallied all the people of Paris together to pray against Attila the Hun, that he wouldn't come any closer to the outskirts of the city. And in actual fact this worked, and he was then pushed back away from the city of Paris for the last time. So Saint Genevieve, now held anywhere in the world. And this is the Notre Dame Cathedral. They've been flat out cleaning it, and you can see even on the front of the bell towers there how much cleaner it is than at the back. The perfect things that give you the idea of Gothic though is these big flying buttresses that come from the building down to the outside, and they carry the water out through gargoyles. You see they've got all these little gargoyles and spirits of animals and features all the way along there. They will ward off the evil spirits. They carry the water out beyond the footpath so it doesn't run back into the internal network of the buildings. The other features are the 3 rows windows. You'll see there's one on each end of the cross here, so one here, another one around the front, another one around the outside of that building. But to try and put things into proportion, this building here was actually commissioned by the then Bishop Maurice de Sully in 1160. Ile de la City to our right, and what we've been coming past is the gendarmerie. The gendarmerie, of course, are the police, so that these guys control the French language. In fact, there's 40 people working in here, and it's said that they have the highest literacy honour of anybody in the world, and they listen to radio stations, monitor magazines, books, articles, the whole on and on. And you can see the names all the way along the top there, and they have destinations for the trains the whole way along there. Unfortunately, in fact, it's the first ever electric train station in Paris, but unfortunately as trains grew longer and longer, the platforms are no longer long enough, there wasn't enough area, so they moved the trains out of the city a little bit more. And as you look into the front square of it now, that would probably tell you that it's a museum. In fact, it's a museum of impressionist artwork. Okay, they actually call it the Museum of a Dying Facade, the end of the great era of art. Works in here run from about 1840 through to and then the one right next to it is the French Naval Academy. So basically, if you sort of go now and look beyond the obelisk, we'll be back down. That's Place de la Concorde. That's where you get picked up tomorrow, right where that Kentucky coach is there right now. You can see across, but don't worry about it now. Look down, see to the Magdalene, and then back here again for the National Assembly, as a friendship and a bonding between the two cities after the sacking of Napoleon Bonaparte. In other words, Napoleon come through, because all that was with you French people, we realise that Napoleon Bonaparte's now dead and gone, so how can we repay you for all those lost lives? So he donated the money to build this bridge, and they built it as a bridge because it symbolised a friendship, a joining, a uniting of two cities from one side of the bank to the other. On Alexander III. Again, there's 2 awesome museums over there, one either side. You got 2, one's known as the Petit Palace, the smaller of them, the other one the Grand Palace. You see the smaller on the right hand side, and then the Grand Palace on the left hand. The Hospital of Invalid War Veterans. And it's said that our infamous king, Louis XIV, the Sun King, was walking in the streets of Paris one day, heaven forbid that he might come into the city of Paris, and walking amongst the commoners, and he saw a beggar in the king's military uniform. begging for money. And Louis XIV, in all his arrogance, the Sun King said, "How dare you, my son? Why do you beg for money when you are in the king's uniform?" And he said, "Well, I have been to battle and I have fought for my king, and I've lost both my limbs, and now I have nobody to care for me and no income and no money." So Louis XIV tipped him handsomely, as he would do, walked away and thought about this for a minute, and he thought, "Yeah, so right, I have these people out there fighting for me, I haven't given them anything in return, and anyway, I could use this as a chance to, you know, make myself more known again, produce my name, and put my brand on it." So he had this hospital built for all his war veterans. And then on the other side of the gate, you've got the emblem and the coat of arms of the king at the time, the Sun King, Louis XIV, and then of course his head out of his collar, but basically depicting himself with his face being the centre point of the sun, coming out of that, of the Sun King there as well. That boulevard is in Belize. As you look down, they look back now to Pont Alexander III. Now you'll see how strong. And then also that boulevard down there, that's where the Bright brothers actually launched their hot air balloon, and their initial now being converted to the Museum of Rodin. So Rodin, form looking away from us, deep in thought, and he is the focal point of that garden within that museum of it. It's the tomb of Napoleon Bonaparte himself. Okay, so you can just pop out. All its courtyards, even over here to the left as well, and then it goes right on down to the left hand side. And even more ironic, I suppose, that Casanova, having come up from Italian, would then be closely followed by a young man from Corsica, and that young Corsican, of course, 5'0", was Napoleon Bonaparte, who actually came up here, and this is where he did his time, and his early military training was here as well, in this military academy. With the funds that were again raised by an Italian down there. And if you look closely at it, you'll even see as you're going along here, because it came under a heavy attack during World War I. If you look closer to the left-hand side, you're supposed to be looking. Keep looking at the left-hand side, and you'll be able to get a good look at those bullet holes as you're going to keep looking to the left-hand side, left-hand side. Oh dear, what the hell? Have a look out to the right and do your ooh and ah thing that you gotta do. Ooh, ah, I know.
What is that?
Exactly. What is that goddamn awful piece of architecture? Well, this is Field Marshal General Foch just here that I was talking about. See on the stone here, the equestrian statue? You're taking photos of him. That's really, it's great. And he's looking down there. That's the Champs de Mars. Because Mars was the god of war, and that's why Field Marshal Foch is depicted at the end of Champs de Mars. Oh, you're looking beyond that. Yeah, I know. This, it's 7,000 tons of massive steel structure. That's the Eiffel Tower, guys. That Eiffel Tower was...
I can't tell. Yeah. Up to the top. Can't believe it. Sorry, I think this is as far as I'm gonna go.
You're lying.
I'm sorry. Bit of a Seinfeld call there, but
Tell me if I get in your way.
Okay.
you're in the way.
Oh my god.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
This is great, man.
Kind of weird about it.
See the sunset too?
It's a whole lot of steel.
It's a weird feeling.
It's great. Is that rust in the steel?
That's a rust. Rivets.
That's cracking. Yeah, right. All right, stop now. It's saying crack.
Middle stretch minutes. Oh, there's a stairs we get to climb.
The wells are gonna break.
My ears are popping.
Yeah.
You can walk up and
Everybody yawn.
This is beautiful.
You feel a sway?
Alright, let's try the fingers. I'm a 10-year-old to think that. Yours are popping.
They're goofing off.
No to dawaj. Radek, tam łuk znalazłeś? Zobacz. A przepraszam bardzo, znów zdjęcie temu.
Hombre, algo ha salido. Se ve que no te lo creen. Tú también quieres, ¿no?
Ty, no to fajnie, dwa jakie autobusy. A patrz jakie to jest, ty. Jaki statek wielki przy autobusie.
No to co?
Idziemy? Idziemy.
Yeah, Bill, so this wasn't so bad. Not too cold.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Come on.
Just getting it on video.
Yeah, that's really fun. Hey, we're here at the Eiffel Tower.
Ooh.
Hold it up at night.
Oh God, I'm going too high.
Stand back down.
You can't go too fast, otherwise I'll miss it all. You here? Oh, there we are.
Okay, that's good.
Only himself, along with one other man in this country, has been laid underneath the Arc de Triomphe. The train rounded at any one time, especially during the peak hours of the day. And very weird system, but traffic going onto this. So as we head off and make our way down the Champs-Élysées, down the main walking boulevard, a couple of things you might notice as well. There's an eternal flame burning underneath the Triumphal Arch, which is the flame to the basically all those soldiers that lost their lives in the battlefields of the Somme during World War I. And as I said, you can go up there, take the lift up to the top as well, and get a spectacular view from up there, because it's also on one of the higher elevations here in the city of Paris, and it gives you a very close perspective view looking down the Champs-Élysées through this particular area here.
Oh my god. It's a freaking mad drive.
So now then, as we make our way out of there, we now come to be seen taking a stroll in Paris of an evening, or of a daytime for that matter. But it's the place where everybody that is anybody has their letterhead from, with the address of the Champs-Élysées. And you'll see Citroën, Mercedes-Benz, Air France, everybody with a sort of a dealership is down here. Office of Tourism over there to the right-hand side when you're back there tomorrow. Thomas Cook beside that as well if you want to use it. McDonald's there. One thing you might notice about McDonald's, if you have a look at the, oh, there's no colouring at all today, the lights are out. But if you generally have a look at things down the Champs-Élysées, you'll notice about the McDonald's and other lights that they're actually white. And this is in recognition to Claude Neon, the Frenchman who actually gave us the neon to provide us with the neon lighting. So most of the main lighting all the way down the Champs-Élysées is actually done in the white as you go down here. It's also where you'll find quite a bit of the banking. To give you an idea, but it's got that letterhead, Champs-Élysées. That's what counts down here. So yeah, the cafe is much cheaper if you stand inside at the bar for your coffee, sit down at the tables, you'll pay the next tier up. Expect to tip a little bit more, slightly more service charge, and then as you sit outside on the footpath, it then costs more again as you go through that particular area. And our coach will be in front of the orangery in that little coach park at just got this Bastille down on Mr. France too. It's everything from July. Frogland one day. The Frogland one day. I mean, 16 well out.
Away at 8 a.m. to find my father.
Yeah. Come in a little closer. Coconut. See you later, Duncan. Oh, you.
I shall lead you in 1 hour to remind me the name of that island next to your country where the emperor died. The Emperor Napoleon. The Emperor Napoleon. You have 1 hour to think it over. have time to practice your Spanish? No? Look here. Beautiful window. Can you see? We all come here to see that beautiful window up there. Up there. This is a very nice rose window, as we put it, because it has got that shape of a rose, you understand? Rose window, made up with thousands of little stained glass windows. That size, approximately. That size, thousands of them, making that beautiful window. All original, what do you say? Stained glass windows.
Yeah. It's too dark in here, video. Hair won't come out that good. It's okay. Whoa.
Sunlight, a New Testament, which means the birth, the life, the miracles of the Christ. Same story, original, nice color. This time, another predominant color, which is purple. Can you see that? We had blue, this one, purple. Another of the hard, rich colors to get when making stained glass windows. Picture if you like, then way out.
Do you want videotape?
You sick of it already?
Well, I know you're thinking, well, videotape this. So you have a whole tape on Notre Dame.
Also, 17th century, of course, what was the name of that style? Classical or neo-classical. Because including elements that look Greek. What does look Greek in here? Of course, you see that? The colors look Greek. And what is the name of that style on top of the another one, another of the three borders. Classical on the mortar. And the top of the columns have a special name for the style. Corinthian.
Yeah, I get what we're talking.
2 minutes though?
Yeah. How about it? Oh, this is when you have to look down, but even then you have to bow too.
Go over here. Napoleon's tomb.
Napoleon. Napoleon's tomb. This is the lower level, and there's Tracy. It's going out of focus here. And all these intricate marble carvings in the wall. All this is marble. Marble and granite. Sun maybe? I don't know. Here's the Eiffel Tower, overlooking Paris. And here we are. That's the arch. I don't know what church that is. This is the Louvre. Look how huge. It's not only does it in there, then it starts again over there. And it's back again over here. Way down there. Up again. We go find the entrance. Watch us as we find the entrance. As we scope out the entrance. Entrance where from? Alright, what's this thing over here, Trey? You have a little commentary now. Now we're not with like 50 people where you can talk to the damn thing. This thing here is built by I.M. Pei.
American.
He's the Chinese guy, actually.
Oh, I thought it was American, and it was really controversial.
Nice, yeah.
This is inside the Louvre, walking around, looking at the magnificent paintings on our way to the Mona Lisa. Venus de Milo. Yeah.
Don't see any splits there.
What's that underneath that? Is that Latin? Well, this is our last morning in Paris.
Bonsoir, bonjour, au revoir.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, monsieur, au revoir.
This is a nice
Très
hotel.
bien, très bien. Au revoir.
Packing up, getting ready to go. This is a pretty nice hotel considering some of that we have
All my
had.
stinky laundry.
And this is our view. We get to see the Eiffel Tower.
It's ungodly hot over here.
awesome at night.
Don't ever come in June. Come in the fall. Paris is so beautiful in the fall. That's what they tell me. It's beautiful in the fall. Oui, oui. Bonsoir. Bonjour. Très bien.
But it's not just fundamentalist and Kashmiri parties who have turned up the pressure on Mr. Sharif to support more strongly the action of the Islamic militants in Kashmir. This four opposition parties Congress called on him to resign because delegates
lives here on French soil, and that's their part in the role of Vimy Ridge and certainly World War I has basically helped them to bring them out of that war as basically a new proud young nation. You know, it gave them an identity for what they did during World War I. Likewise with Australia and New Zealand though, that were heavily involved. But you know, for the French alone, we always talk about our forces and Allied forces. Now the French alone, they lost over 1.5 million people on these lands here. In fact, if you calculate it, they lost over 50% of their population that were between 18 and 35. All those young men about to go into adulthood. So people that were eligible to do a tour, 50% of the French population lost their lives during the area of these battlefields here at Vimy Ridge. You can see all this sort of undulating land. That's all from the bomb craters and everything all the way through there. And there's still, you can see the signs, keep off the grass. There's still said to be quite a few unexploded shells around, so be very careful. And Robert, you'll notice, of course, we're travelling alongside maples as we come through here. The Canadian maple that's all been over and planted here and maintain this area, and a special little bit of Canada. Now the main feature of course is the memorial over there, and that's where there's over 11,000, about 11,200 names of Canadians who actually died in the battlefields here, and that memorial is made out of some 11,000 tons of limestone that's actually imported from Yugoslavia at a cost of about £1.5 million. So anyway, it also services as a
Tracy, cold?
Yes.
Did it wake you up?
Yes.
Hey, Kimberly.
Hi.
All right. Everyone say au revoir. Au revoir. Au revoir. Au revoir. Close up with the guy. Let me see your gum. Maria, let me get the gum in there. Get the zoom up there. Give a little bubble. Almost.
Shot.
Bonsoir.